she hasn't got the diary yet. So she's gotten mum's gift, but not my nan's.
Yeah.
She gets this gift and she's opened up this obviously pen and this little like, I don't know if it's a coin purse or what. And I looked at her, I was like, that's weird. And I looked at her and I like whispered to her, I'm like, what happened to the diary? And she's like, Nan's getting it. And she's like, the present's still there. I'm like, oh, okay, good. And she's like, you know, it's hard to buy for someone when all they like is walks and twisties.
Twisties? Like cheese twisties? Oh, man, I'll fuck with that. That's fine. Just get a mega twisty. Get her a party bag.
But wait, this is the most hilarious part. My girlfriend heard it, and I look at my mum and I go, Twisties? And my girlfriend looks up and goes, Twisties? And like,
she's like twisty.
And my mum goes, well, yeah, you said walks and Matt said twisties. Both my face and her face snapped to Matt, who's on like opposite side of the room, and goes, where the fuck did you get twisties from? And my brother just goes, she loves twisties. And we're like, since when? And it is Morokai with TWISTIES. We're back on every single Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 7 a.m. on Spotify and 4:30 p.m. on YouTube. I've got a smile on my face. It's been a while since we've been in the lab.
It's good to be back. People listening, watching, might not understand, but the main man, the guy doing all the work behind the scenes, the maestro, the hero of this podcast, has come in.
Tone it down. Let's
I'm not going to tone it down. I'm hyping this man right up.
Me up.
In fact, there's some hype sauce in front of me. I might just throw that over you, mate.
Yeah. Oh, mate. No, it's I've been a bit sick.
Pretty crook, and it scared me a bit because I'll be honest. Because we caught up on the Sunday. I went to work on the Monday. One of the boys. I went out on the Friday night prior to this, by the way. One of the boys goes, test positive COVID. Straight away, I'm like, that's cool. I wasn't anywhere near him. I actually said hi. I didn't even shake his hand, give him a hug or anything like that. So I'm like, oh, I'm all in the clear. Did the podcast with Luke on the Sunday, and Monday night, I go up to my partner's place. Well, obviously, just catching up and all that. She wakes up in the morning, tests negative, then does another test positive, and I'm like, I've definitely got it. Like, there's no way I've missed this. Like, I've got it, sort of thing. Somehow test negative. Before I even get the chance to say to Luke, hey, mate, I just want to give you a heads up. My partner's sick. She's got COVID. I know I was with you on Sunday. Trust me, man, I got no symptoms. I feel okay. I think I'm sweet and all that. Before I can even do that, Luke messages me and he's like, man, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me, but it feels like I've got... And I was like, oh, no. Which then made me really scared because I was like, am I just like a super spreader? Like, am I someone that like never ever shows symptoms, but like I spread it? Sort of like one of your exes with glandular fever. Yeah. Like, she would never actually properly get, but like, she would always pass it on. And I was like, oh shit, am I that person? Because I was like, I'm a horrible person if that's me.
I remember thinking there was something wrong with me when I got glandular fever because I would be at work and I'd be running pallets in a supermarket. And I remember saying to my mum, I'm like, Mum, I'm not kidding. When I'm running these pallets, if I just lay my head on the pallet, like put my arms in a resting position, I will fall asleep standing up. I don't know what the fuck is right. Yeah, and she's out kissing boys, giving out glandular fever left, right, and centre.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, I thought I was convinced I had COVID because in my work it got spread around. There was this one girl who got it, and when it was the one time I've never worked with this girl ever, and then this one week I said, "Hey, look, I know I don't need to do your job." But I do want to learn the back end. Yeah, do you mind if I just sit with you for half an hour just to get an idea visually? I've known this girl for a year. It's the first time I've ever been like, hey, can I just
interaction whatsoever?
Can I sit within like a metre of you and watch you do your work and have a chat?
Oh, shit.
She does. Next thing you know, she's not at work. She's dropped dead like a fly. And I'm like, geez. Anyway, she gets COVID. And I go, oh, far out. We had our work party and everything as well. Made it to the work party. And she actually came back. She was real sick for 2 days. Then her voice was like messed up completely. Came back to work, said it was COVID. All in the clear though. Because COVID's definitely not taking us. No. If you got COVID, you can still go into work.
Yeah, well, one of the boys that got it with me, he had to. His boss was like, mate, we need the job done. Just put on a mask for me. And
Isn't that
far away?
Oh, don't
and all that, which
isn't
is
that nuts
yeah,
compared to what we used to be? One case and it would go just bonkers.
Oh, it was ridiculous, man. Like, I don't know. It's crazy how far we've come as a society or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah,
well, it's weird. It's weird, but anyway, so I come home and in my head I'm like, you know what? You can go a bit easier now for this last couple of weeks because you haven't got much going on. Yep. You're more setting up for the next year. In my job, I'm more setting up. There's nothing I really had to rush to do. Yep, so I was in a good spot and I'm like, cool, this is going to be a good couple. I'll really smash out work in the morning, then go home, play some video games. It's going to be great. Edit the podcast. Wake up one morning, I'm like, oh my God, what the hell is wrong? Going to work and everyone's like, you sound and look like shit. And I was like, I hate when people say
that's
you look
the
like
worst.
it.
That actually is the worst.
Because you don't think you do. And even you might be at the start of the sickness like I was. So it's like, well, let's not get carried away.
Yeah,
I look the same as I always do.
Don't get me wrong, I do feel a bit under the weather, but geez, that's a bit harsh, Margaret. Keep those comments to yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And I go home, and then as the day's going on, it started hitting me real quick, and I'm like, this is sweet. Like, I can just play video games. But I was like, I'm actually feeling pretty rough. That sleep that night just rushes of hot and cold, like throat,
genuine
coughing.
COVID.
It felt like I was getting flashbacks when I had COVID, and I'm like, yep, it's that. Not COVID, and I go to the doctors, and it was just a really bad chest infection. So if I cough throughout some of the podcasts, that's the reason why. Because we had to cancel for 2 weeks straight.
Yeah.
Because I said to you, I'm like, man, if you come over, I'm not kidding, I can't have a conversation for longer than 5 seconds without coughing. If I'm not talking, it's not too bad, maybe every minute or two. But when I start...
Yeah, but you can't... Yeah, podcast is very back and forth. Like, it's going to be me, like, constantly talking, which I don't know if the viewers and the listeners would overly enjoy, with just the odd dash... just the odd dash of just you.
Yeah.
It's like, geez, Luke's been pretty quiet on the last couple of podcasts. Does everything feel good? Like, yeah, exactly, man.
My girlfriend's like, oh, why don't you edit it out? And I'm like, oh, look, I can get where you're coming from, but to edit it out would be the biggest...
Such a process.
Pain, especially if we... talked over each other while I coughed, because then I'd have to edit out your voice too, so it'd just be like a big old mess. But speaking of the girlfriend, I have to give her...
Oh, you have to. Go on, do it.
I have to give a massive shout out.
Do it.
Mate, for Christmas, she got like a crazy amount of gifts for me.
We love a crazy amount of gifts.
But not only that, the gifts are like specifically for me. They're not gifts.
They actually are. Like, I'm genuinely, like, I know that she'll be listening.
Yeah,
because she always does, which is amazing in and of itself. Yeah, just want to put that out there.
Support's unreal.
Yeah, you have smashed it with like all your gifts that you have gotten, Luke, this year have been
a me to a T.
Like, yes, she's actually scarily done a better job than I, which makes me almost reflect on myself. I'm like, how well do I really know Luke? Like, mate, now I'm second guessing myself.
Where I lived before, my dad, very cheap. So I've never had a sharp knife in my life. So she bought us like a whole big setup of knives for the new house. I didn't have a big pot for my induction stovetop, so I've got the big pot for that as well. What else? I've got the G Fuel cans, which I've always wanted to try.
I know that I feel so bad for interrupting you there, but isn't it crazy, right? So if this was 10 years ago and all that, if someone mentioned to me, it's like, I got pots and I got to, I'd be like, oh, that's pretty cool. But now at the age of 27, I'm actually like, oh, that is fucking awesome.
Yeah, you can cook stuff.
I actually love that so much.
And man, she also got me G Fuel, which was KSI, and I love for the wall behind us. We're building up and we're getting like stuff that we collect together. It's just something else we can add to the wall.
Can I just say, I was going through some old photos as well, like looking at like some stuff that I can do for the process on Instagram and all that. Mate, looking at the flashbacks, like seeing the bare wall behind you with no shelves to what it is now, and like even just like through videos and I'm just like, the evolution has just been crazy.
It has been crazy. It has
like it's actually ridiculous. Crazy. Even going back to the first try on of clothing, man.
Yeah.
I'm just like, wow, like no carpet, like,
yep.
It's just, it's actually incredible. I know that I've said it so many times on the podcast, but I suppose we're coming to the end of 2022, and it's just crazy to reflect on the start of this house, your house, to what it is today.
Oh, it is crazy.
Like, I am just, mate, mind blown.
Yeah.
Absolutely mind blown.
It is absolutely nuts, and it just worked out well. So, look, with all these stuff, she even got me a universal remote, which my TV's like all these things that I've needed. So I was like, fuck, I need to go all out. So what I have organised is, and this will come out.
I was going to say, I like this. You've done this extremely well.
Yeah, because we do, if people don't know, we do if things go to schedule, about, I would say, 6 to 8 podcasts a week. So that's a whole week and a little bit done. So we usually get about 2 weeks ahead.
Yes.
So unless there's a current topic we want to talk about, I'll then edit that in to current day. So, for instance, when we talked about Liver King, the guy
we try to like make it sooner instead of like it's been and done. So like it's still relevant in that sense.
Yep. So,
which is a smart YouTube hack, by the way, for anyone that is watching on the YouTube. But obviously, if you're listening to, it's just we try to cover topics that are going and all that because it is easy clicks.
It is. Well, not that yet. We try to bring in a new audience. To get to see who we are and what we're like as well. But also it's fun to talk about. I don't think there's any podcast who doesn't talk about a current...
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, that's it. You have to. I feel like if you're not, then...
Yeah, what are you doing?
Geez, like you can only tell so many stories realistically.
100%. So, you know that site Red Balloon?
Yes.
So I had 3 ideas and I was like... Because I went to go buy... she likes doing activities. Like, I've got a funny as fuck story for you in a second.
Beautiful.
You're going to love this.
We love this.
So she loves activities. So she's not more of a gift person. She wants to have a memory or an activity that she can do.
Yeah, you can do like with yourself. Yeah. Gotcha. Following.
So anyway, I was like, there's 3 I want to do. There's one that's like more of a fear conqueror for both. And that one would be taking her on a hot air balloon over the Yarra Valley.
Yeah. That to me, like that alone, I think it'd be so awesome to do.
Yep.
Looking down would scare the ever-living shit out of me. Like, I'm happy to raise my hand here and be like, I reckon I would be a bitch.
Same.
I would be a bitch.
It was one of those things where I go, but that's like
But you got to do it at the same time. Yeah, that'd be so cool.
And I was about to buy it, right? And it was like $800 or something.
Yeah,
I was about to press click and I'm like, maybe this could be a fear that's a bit too big. Yeah, and I was like, I thought of it as a good like conquering for both of us, but I was like, what if there's like no, there's no way I can do that. So I was like, no, I'll have that as an option.
Yeah, great.
And then the other 2 options is like a full spa weekend and glamping. Now, I don't like glamping.
Yeah,
it's not my thing.
I'm a bit the same.
But it's all about her. Like,
exactly. You're spot on.
I want to make sure that, she enjoys it and it's something she wants to do. And I'll enjoy it because she enjoys it.
Some of those glamping tents, though, again, I'm the exact same as you, mate. Like, it's not really for me. Some of them do look bloody incredible, though. Like, I will give it that. It's not for me.
Yeah.
But I can see the appeal. I'm like, that does look nice.
Man, I agree completely. But so special gift for a very special girl. So I look forward to that. Now, there was one thing that was hilarious.
Yes.
Right? Fucking died.
We love this.
So I had my mum's side of the family's Christmas get together last night.
Oh, beautiful.
Yep. Okay. So we had that get up and obviously had the presents for, Nan, mum's partner, a few other people here and there, a couple of cards. 2 things. First off, you know how I have a bad memory.
Yeah. Compared to me, I'd like to somehow just linger onto that.
Compared to the normal human, I have a pretty shit memory. That and spelling, just can't do. That's okay. That's all right. I've got street smarts.
Exactly. No, you do. And random fact skills.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that'll get you in a pinch. So,
well, that's it. It's always a conversation starter.
I had my cousins there, and I had 2 of them, and let's call them Junior and Ted, right? Junior and Ted sitting down.
Oh.
I've been talking to them all night.
Yeah.
Right? All night.
Nice.
Get to know what they do and, catch up. Obviously, I'm not the biggest fan of that stuff. We've told it before. Yeah, it's more of a checking off it.
It really is.
Some families get along great.
Yeah, like house and fire.
But these other ones, it's like, it's good that you haven't seen each other in a year.
Yeah.
Because that gives you enough time to talk about everything that's happened.
It does. But then after that,
you're good for 2-hour catch-ups. I literally didn't know which one was which.
Oh, you're kidding.
One's like 17, one's 15. And then...
Hey, they look pretty different.
No, name-wise.
Oh, right, yeah. Gotcha.
So my mum makes me Santa to give out the gifts. And then she's
you're shitting me.
Here's for 10 Junior. And I grab them, and I got the cards, and I go... And my girlfriend saw this. She was like... I said to her after, I was like, did you see me, like, stand there not looking at everyone, just laughing? And she's like, yeah, that was weird. Why are you doing that? And I was like, because I didn't know their names, and I had to figure out in real time, like, how am I going to fucking...
Dude, you're like a little video game where you're like... It's like a time thing.
Yeah.
And you're like...
So, there you go. I was stuck there for 10 seconds thinking of a plan, and I just went like this. I just went looking at the tree, and I go, Ted, And I just I hold it up, and I looked which one looked up, and I went, you. Yep. I was like, perfect. I was like, yes. Because I'm telling you right now, the most embarrassing thing is, if I went with my gut, I would have been wrong.
Yeah, that would have...
I would have been
Well, that would have also been kind of hilarious, though.
I feel like it would have got brought up too much. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It would have been a bad
Come
look.
on, Luke. How'd you forget?
But that's not the funny thing that happened. To me, the funniest fucking thing ever. So about a week ago, my mum comes in and she's with her partner and she goes, all right, what does your girlfriend want? I go, look, she's very hard to buy for. She loves going on walks. And then the classic mum thing, well, I can't buy her a walk. Well, what do you mean?
Really?
And I'm like,
Thanks, Mum. Thanks.
I'm like, all right, sorry, you asked me what she likes and I told you and you cut me off.
Can I just say how bad that is?
Oh my God.
Whenever it comes to anything, and it's always like the smart ass response, and you're like, don't ask me a question that doesn't have the answer that you're looking for.
I know. I literally said, hard to buy for. Kept pressing. All right, what does she like? This is what she likes. Well, how do I buy for that? I'm like, exactly.
That's why I have this problem, Mum.
And I was like, look, go easy. Like, candles for girls are perfect.
Yeah, they are. Candles for guys, by the way.
Yeah. And I said,
great gift.
If you don't want that, gift card. I was like, you can't go wrong with a gift card.
Correct.
She's like, oh, I don't want to get her that. And I'm like, all right, no, hold on. I message her. She wants a diary. Get her a diary.
All right.
She wants a nice work diary.
Yeah, cool.
Anyway, catch up the night before. And she goes, all right, Nan got her the diary. I go, Nan? My Nan's like half tipped out every night. Like she's like she's
Nan under the bus.
It's also, have you noticed if you get gifts from grandparents, they're not great gifts. And it's not to throw them under the bus. It's literally, if I asked to get, I don't know, if I said some trackies, they would get trackies from the Salvos, or they would get trackies from Kmart.
You're spot on. I think it's the best when your own parent gets you the gift, but then just writes from like Nan, from Grandpa.
Exactly.
Because it's exactly what you know that you want.
Yes.
But then like your Nan's in the good books.
Exactly.
Like in that sense. Like even though like at the end of the day you're like, thanks, Mum.
Mate, exactly.
But it's cool because you're still going to go up to your Nan and be like, oh, thank you so much. And your Nan's going to be like, okay.
So when Mum said that, I was like, why? And she's like, well, she wanted a diary. I'm like, yeah, a good diary, like for work. And she's like, oh, she just got her a diary from the $2 shop. And I was like, I knew it. Of course. I was like, of course it would have.
Yeah.
And I'm actually very happy that's the first
I was going to say,
I
I think we might add a little applause. Yeah. We might even hit the applause. I didn't actually think there's an applause button anymore. I think I got rid of that.
Pressing around the buttons. It's ruined. So anyway, Mum's like, oh, well, I'll get her something else. I'll get her something small. I think she got her a pen or like a nice pen for work or whatever. Anyway, gets her the gifts. But she's also gone to my brother and said, what is Luke's girlfriend like? But I didn't know that, okay?
Don't tell me you've doubled up on diaries.
No.
Oh, that's a good thing. I was going to say, because that could be really bad.
So I go up and she obviously gets the diary and she gets another gift. And no, that's right. She hasn't got the diary yet. So she's gotten Mum's gift, but not my Nan's.
Yeah.
She gets this gift and she's opened up this obviously pen and this little like, I don't know if it's a coin purse or what. And I looked at her, I was like, that's weird. And I looked at her and I like whispered to her, I'm like, what happened to the diary? And she's like, Nan's getting it. And she's like, the present's still there. I'm like, oh, okay, good. And she's like, it's hard to buy for someone when all they like is walks and twisties.
Twisties? Like cheese twisties? Oh, man, I'll fuck with that. That's fine. Just get a mega twisty. Get her a party bag.
But wait, this is the most hilarious part. My girlfriend heard it. And I look at my mum and I go, twisties? And my girlfriend looks up and goes, twisties? And like,
she's like twisty.
And my mum goes, well, yeah, you said walks and Matt said twisties. Both my face and her face snapped to Matt, who's on like opposite side of the room, and goes, where the fuck did you get twisties from? And my brother just goes, she loves twisties. And we're like, since when? And he's like, I thought that she like really liked him. And I'm like, gift worthy. I was like, she's never said twisties. I don't think she's ever even said around me. I don't even think she said around me she likes twisties.
Yeah, right.
And I said the only time ever twisties has been brought up was when you worked at the supermarket and my brother,
your brother wanted the zigzags
twisties.
Oh, your brother's in on this.
And Matt's like convinced. He's like, no, she likes twisties. Like, she likes twisties. And she's going, no, I don't. And so I would have fucked me up. It would have been the funniest thing ever if she got like a diary and a bag of twisties, because she would have been sitting there like, what the fuck is this?
That kind of although annoys me, because did your partner get something for your brother for Christmas as well? Only based on the fact
knives.
Yeah. Okay, because I was going to say
the knives were expensive.
Yeah, I was going to say, because based on the gifts that she's gotten for yourself,
yep,
that would. I know. Like, money is never like, oh, like you spent this much on me, I want you to spend that much. But knowing that, like, say you get a gift like that and then in return it's, I'm not gonna lie,
that drops 300 on knives and he gets some twisties. He's actually thrown in like a little bit of money towards a red balloon voucher.
Oh, beautiful!
Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
good on him.
Yeah, so that worked
Very
out
nice.
well. But that was funny. I was sitting there. I was like, "What?"
That would have been a pisser. Christmas always brings out the best.
Oh, it does.
It really does.
Before we go, what have you got your present from your girlfriend yet, or are you waiting until Christmas Day?
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Cool.
I told
her.
Actually, it's good. So I got her a pair of Dunks because she really likes shoes, and she's always like, "Oh, everyone in like the group that we hang out with has cool shoes," and I just have like, it's like it doesn't. I couldn't care less what you like wear personally, but yeah. So I got her them. I got her a awesome as green Nike jumper, like a hoodie. And the third gift I got, because I got her a t-shirt as well, but she already knows that she's getting that because she was with me when I bought it. And what's the third gift? I actually can't even remember what the third gift is, which is bad because I bought them all on the exact same day. That's really stumped me. Oh, no, the third gift it's a Harry Potter short story Hufflepuff candle.
Oh, nice.
And it's like the top layer is like pecan pie caramel or something like that. And then when it burns to like the second base, it's 3 different smells, like 3 different like flavors.
That's sick.
And then when it gets to the bottom, it's another 3 different flavors. I got it at Chadstone, the Chadstone Shopping Centre. But yeah, they've got like Slytherin ones, Gryffindor, Ravenclaw and all that. Like, and then there's like Disney ones as well. There's Star Wars ones. But yeah, she like loves Harry, like absolutely like loves Harry Potter. And as a random guess, because she's like, oh, but she can't guess what house I'm in. And I was like, oh, I feel like people that say that would never be like a Gryffindor or like Slytherin sort of person. So I was like, it's a flip of the coin, but I'm like, I'll go Hufflepuff. And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe you guessed that. And I was like, I feel like that's the next popular house out of the 3. I feel like no one likes Ravenclaw. I feel like that's just like the degenerate like house.
Yep.
By the way, I don't mean to bag any Ravenclaw listeners out there, but like,
oh no, we don't want to discriminate.
Well, mate, you don't want to, mate. There could be some bronies out there, and I don't even want to touch foot on that community. That's it, mate. They come for you.
Poor, mate. Be respectful. Be respectful. I got you know what's good news before we end the pod? My dad, because you know how I told you.
I've been seeing him a lot of like driving around lately. Yeah,
well, he hasn't got much to do lately. Since being Matt, we moved out.
I feel bad.
He's so you know how he was very cheap.
Yes,
like always very cheap.
He's now flipped the script
completely.
Oh, you're kidding?
I think it's because we're out of the house. Like, you know how I told you,
like a wake up call, like
bit of a wake up call in the way of like, you remember the first time we had the aircon on, and like he would slam the doors, like getting angry over the first night. Gifts were always as cheap as possible. It's just he from that generation likes to save as much money. But I guess because now we're like properly out of the house, not coming back because we literally own our own house.
Yeah.
I think he realizes now that he's, there alone.
Yeah.
So he's not doing too much, and he doesn't like to go out too much. So he's raking in money and got nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
So now he's just spending. Because, mate, I was like, look, it'd be great for the pod, but not only great for this room, split system.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
There is a split system in that other lounge room that he's just bought.
Are you shitting me?
Wi-Fi controlled. Yeah.
Fucking wow!
Because I said, can I just have $100 to go towards a split system so I can buy one? And then my brother talked to him, and he got that one. I think it's like a $900 one.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow, that's a crazy change.
Insane change.
That's
insane change.
Fuck. Yeah. Do you almost like you yourself? I guess. obviously, yeah, living in that. Do you almost like? I could be completely wrong as well. So,
but
do you almost feel as if like it's sort of when you have like grandparents or whatever, and like not disown you, but like almost like don't. Because not saying that your dad never wanted anything to do with you, because that's not it. But just in the sense that it's almost like he's trying to buy himself back into your. It's like, oh,
definitely.
look what I can.
No, definitely.
Look what I can do for you. So now, like, you'll be like, oh, Dad, can we?
Yeah,
do this?
100%. No, 100%. That is what it is.
No, I just
because I can be very selfish in the way, and I'm aware of it too. I just don't see my parents too much. As in, I won't go out of my way to travel down to see my mum if there's nothing to talk about. I'll just call her.
Yeah.
Because if
you're
I'm
still
there,
in contact.
Oh, 100%. But the same with my dad. There's never anything to talk about.
Yeah.
So we don't catch up. And also, when I have my spare time, I love editing and just going hard and doing that.
Yeah.
Pretty well aware I'm selfish in that aspect. But with sport, the podcast, gaming, work, those four together take up all of my time. Oh, and girlfriend take up all of my time.
Yeah, it does.
And I also love all those four.
And you can like you can schedule them and like they like it's sort of like a routine for you.
None of them are a chore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where on I feel like my dad's side doesn't like his job, doesn't really have many mates or any, and doesn't go out.
Yeah.
So
it's very
once
limited.
He finishes work, he's not doing anything.
Yeah, gotcha.
So now that we're not in the house, and I think that happens with a lot of people where, especially parents, single parents, when their kids move out, there's something about, like I like living with my brother, right? It's just nice having someone there.
Yeah, correct.
We don't need to talk at all the whole day, but I don't know what it is. It's nice, like even
it's
if there's
like
a passing conversation,
almost.
Yeah, and that's now gone.
Yeah, like it's complete like radio silence. More
yeah, or less. And there was a lot of things that happened in the last few years that kind of damaged the relationship a bit as well. So it's not like I'm eager to just go back and catch up all the time. So I think that is part of it.
Yeah, trying to like rebuild that relationship with you in hopes that like.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. But what's hard is like in my head, I want to rebuild it too. But
yeah, but at your own
we don't
pace.
like. Well, we don't like the same things.
Yeah, well,
in any way. When we catch up, there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah,
like literally nothing to talk about.
Oh.
So it is hard.
You just, I'm sure. Okay, we still have good enough time on the pod. I had last Sunday. I went to it was my partner's. I think she says Pa's 90th birthday.
Yep, and
it's her dad's side of the family. And all that. And I know her and her mum listen to this podcast. So I don't think they'll mind me saying this, but they just don't really get along with that side of the family, whatever. That's fine. There's a specific, it's her cousin's partner.
Yep.
And all that. So we're just chatting and all that. He's like, walks up to me, he's like, hey mate, nice to meet you. This is my name, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't fucking know one.
Yeah.
And all that.
Yep.
So I'm like, I just want to I'm just going to be placid. Like, I would say I'm a friendly guy, so I'm just like, hey, lovely to meet you, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, like I'm her partner sort of thing. He's talking to me. And then just out of the blue, I can tell the conversation's going a bit dry. But instead of him just like letting it like just ease out, there was a cheese board in front of us as well. And I was like, this is perfect because I can just get into the cheese board. Yeah. Instead of him just like having something off the cheese board, he just I wish. He just randomly goes, he's like, weather's been pretty good lately. As soon as he said that, I was like, I didn't mind you, but now, like, no.
Does that statistic play in your head when it's like if someone doesn't know what to talk about, they talk
about
the weather?
I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? So then at the same time, though, I was like, I don't want to, like, make him look like a fucking idiot. So I'm just like, it's been pretty good, man.
Mate, that's hard for me too, because if I have, say I meet with you and one of your mates I've never met before.
Yeah.
And I get along with them, and I have an interest in them because you're their mates. You're mates with them. I could make the conversation go all day.
Oh, 110%.
But if I have no interest in this person, I can't be fucked.
Well, they were talking this guy's...
I honestly cannot be fucked continuing the conversation. I'm actually happy for it to end. And I'll sit in silence, honestly.
I didn't mind it, but, like, I find sometimes, like, I've noticed now where being a bit older, instead of just being like, sort of like, oh, what are you into? Or it's always like, oh, what's your job? Oh, yeah, like, what do you do at your job? And all that. I'm like, I don't really know if I want to tell someone that I don't really know what I do and like what's
Yeah,
I don't know. It's like I don't want to play like all my cards. It's like I want to keep my cards close to myself because like I don't not in a dick way, but like I don't really think I'll see it again.
Yeah, exactly.
So like I don't want to like I don't want to spill my bit. Yeah, you know what I mean? No, like I know it sounds like a bit funny and all that, and it was funny as well because as soon as we left like the 90th party, like my partner and partner's mum get in the car. And they're just like, thank fuck that's so. And I was like, oh, I didn't mind it. And mate, that probably was the worst thing I could have said because it was just eagle eyes on me in the back seat. Like,
has there been, before we go, last minute, because there's people that you know that listen to the show, has there been times where someone's like said, oh, that's not on, or like, not a fan that you've talked about that?
Not overly. Last night I went to the movie, see Avatar 2, and obviously I told the story of Dad sneaking alcohol into the cinema.
Yep.
I get out of the car and he's like, by the way, mate, stop putting me on the podcast. And all that. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, I think I've only mentioned like you like one. I'm like, the only thing that I think I can remember that I said is like when you like the whole Chinese burn thing.
Yeah, that's it.
And then he's just like, no. And apparently you said about the drinks as well. And I was like, fuck, if I did, like, I must admit, man, I completely forgot about it.
I can't even remember.
But at the same time, I was like, oh, who cares? It's funny sort of thing. I was just like, oh, yeah. Okay.
I did wonder because I was like, I don't.
That's about it. Like, no one else is.
don't. Well, we don't go too crazy. No, like every time we do something that's offensive, it's clearly a joke.
Yeah.
But I have thought before, I've been like, for example, I don't think my mum listens to it.
Yeah,
and that's the only one. I know my dad would. I know my dad would be troubling.
Tunes in every now and then, like obviously, which was hilarious. Actually, coming into the podcast, obviously when we were talking about our weed stories, because I remember before we even did, I was like, fuck, I've never told Mum this.
Yeah, yeah,
and all that. So like, it was an inch, but then like, she's just like,
people can be different about it because I remember once I uploaded a TikTok and my mum follows me on TikTok, like has seen all my TikToks, which I'm fine with because my TikToks are...
Yeah, but you got nothing to hide on TikTok.
That's literally my life.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that TikTok is a diary of my life.
Most definitely. Older.
So I don't mind. But anyway, there was one episode where there was like mold in my room at her house. And it wasn't really mold, but it was just a spot that... in the brick house, there was a little water, so it just looked black.
Yeah.
Anyway, so when I moved my bed away, it just looked like there was this black corner. Mate, she sounded upset and called me and was just like, "Can you take it down?" And in my head, I'm like, "Why?" Like, like no one knows who you are on my stuff unless you've got your friends that follow. Like what? But she was like, "No, take it down. I just want you to take it down." So instead of arguing, I just went,
"Oh, look, I'm respectful." Well, like if someone that we mentioned on the podcast is like, "Oh, actually, can you?" Maybe not.
Yeah.
I'd be like, look, I get it, like, and all that. But at the same time, like, everything that we say on the pod, it's just like, it's a bit of an insight. But like, I've never ever,
There's some time. It's hard to be in the other headspace, I guess, because like part of me was just like, that TikTok's got all the views it's going to get now. Like,
like it's done.
It's got 1,000.
It's capped it. Like,
I guarantee no one else is going to.
Unless you take off and people like then go back to the start.
Yeah,
like
I guess other people don't really understand it. But it is interesting. I've always thought, is there anyone I know that maybe watches it secretly and has never told me?
That's also true.
I'll tell you what, because of TikTok, we're
getting on some algorithms.
They have it, but they have a section where on your TikTok page you can see who visits your page.
Yeah. I've got that switched on for mine, which is weird because I don't really go much on my own TikTok.
But the thing is, I've seen it be in the double digits now. People we went to school with, who we never talked to, on that TikTok.
That's so interesting because it makes me think it's like, are they then sharing it with like the group of mates that
100%? No, 100%. Because there was one that I remember there was one that saw our profile. And then, because I'm on it pretty frequently, 2 other people that were in their group saw it. And I was like, I guarantee it's in a group chat. And that's also played in my head heaps. How many people haven't liked it or looked at our profile, but they've been like, it's fucking Lee from school. Or that's fucking Luke from footy. Whatever it could be. And they've sent it in a group chat or to someone else. And I've always thought about that.
Well, that's... Even I went out for dinner the other night and I completely forgot. And one of the boys was like, "Oh, Lee, man, how's the podcast going?" I was like, fuck, I don't think I ever once said anything to him.
Oh, really?
So I was like, that's fucking weird. Like, it took me by surprise. I didn't really know how to react. I was like, oh, yeah, no, it's going good, man. Like, yeah, no, it's like, fuck, you kind of stunned me here. Like,
we'll end it here because I want to tell the funniest fucking story about one of our TikToks in the next one. So, guys, make sure to stay tuned for the next episode. And, that was Morokai 2 Eyes, and we'll see you in the next one.
Boom.
Boom.
Oh, it feels good to say boom.